The Film Slice crew review
There was something
Mamma Mia.
that night.
That's right. Time to get your boogie on for the second time. Loving them Fernandos and loving them dancing queens out there. All you dancing queens listening out there, this one's for you.
Nintendo. Great.
You ruined that. Hey team, Angus Strachan here, and welcome to the Film Slice podcast. I'm here, as always, with my co-host, Kane Diggly Wiggly Kane Dogs.
Hello.
And Bro Diddly Doo, Bro Man. How are we, gentlemen?
Also, Angly Wangly Pangly Sangly Wangly Angus.
That's this guy. This week we're reviewing Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia.
Here we go again.
Here we go again.
Ma.
Hey.
Cool.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we're done. We're leaving it there.
So prepare to jump into song for the remainder of this podcast.
It's going to be one of those podcasts.
One of those.
Jordan, hit us up with an IMDb summary.
My
absolutely
IMDb
can.
summary.
5 years after the events of Mamma Mia, 2008, Sophie learns about her mother's past while pregnant herself. That's what it says.
While pregnant herself.
While pregnant herself. Yeah.
You
It makes complete
just
sense,
said, yeah, you just said that wrong. You idiot.
Well, pregnant herself.
And that's why we get Jordan to read off a
That
phone.
is exactly why we get Jordan to read them.
So disclaimer, I haven't seen the
She
first.
does pregnant herself.
Multiple times.
She pregnants herself very heavily. I have not seen the first one. Brody, have you seen the first one?
I have not seen the first one. Angus, have you seen the first one?
I have seen the first one multiple times.
Was the first one any good?
I loved it. Yeah, it was really good.
Great.
It's
Safe,
really good.
safe to say you probably really like this one?
Potentially, let's get into it. When did you
Alright.
see the movie, and what did you think?
When did you see the movie? What did you think? Do you like the movie? None of the shit.
I saw the movie...
When did you see the movie?
What did you think?
I saw the movie last night.
That one.
I've stated multiple times that I'm not a fan of musicals.
He's not a fan of musicals.
Not a fan of musicals.
I just think that sometimes they sing
He just thinks that the thing.
sometimes at unnecessary moments
Unnecessary moments.
just to give large amounts of exposition.
Large amounts of exposition, and he's heard it all before.
That all being said, I thought this was a good time.
There you go. I am very surprised
Yeah,
about that.
I was surprised. I went in very negative and walked
Yes,
out
I can imagine.
very ABBA.
There you go. Very
Yeah.
ABBA.
Yeah.
Broadman, did you walk out very ABBA, or was the headline bad?
Oh yeah! Wow. Actually, can I first clarify? Funny. Can I assume? No, we're
from
not.
Jordan.
We're not going to. The podcast will go so long.
Yes, you can assume.
Can I assume you saw this movie by yourself, Brody, at an awkward like 10 a.m.-ish time with not many people in the cinema?
I saw it by myself at about 1:15 on Thursday.
Yeah, cool. So
There was 20 to 25 older people in the cinema with me.
20 to
cool. I just wanted because one of my favorite.
In their
Oh
50s,
god.
maybe their 60s. So I saw it by myself. I thought it was alright. It wasn't super amazing, super bad for me. There was just a few little nitpicks towards the beginning of the film, but then the rest was kind
the
of
middle.
regular musical magic.
Musical
Regular
shenanigans.
musical
Angus,
Yo,
when did you see the movie and what did you think?
that's a good question, Jordan.
Yeah, no.
I
One
saw the movie.
that he will answer in song.
Angus, take it away.
I saw the movie. I saw the movie at 10 in the morning.
10 in the morning.
And then,
And then.
when I finished the movie,
What next?
I thought it was pretty good.
Oh, well, probably. I could have guessed that.
This morning, I thought it was a bit slow to pick up. I think the start of the film, I think it was a bit slow at the start, and there are a few things that I didn't like, Broadman, which you said as well. We probably picked up on the same kind of stuff. But it got me. It got me towards the end.
Got you in the feels?
I was actually very pleased by the end of it. Of the viewing experience.
pleased your feels.
Was it better than the first one, you ask?
I'm gonna say it was.
I don't
My
think
girlfriend
so.
said it was. I don't know. I've got nothing to go on.
I mean, it's newer, which
That's true.
which means
It
that
is
it's probably like more
Factually, it came out more recently.
Yeah,
That's true.
dem facts, yo. I probably think the first one was better if you kind of take a step back and actually look at the two together.
Yep.
But having said that, it was still a fun time.
Cool.
Lads, you know how every week I put up on Instagram and Twitter, sometimes occasionally, what movie we're reviewing and ask our slicey slices, those listeners out there listening to us. That's what we called you, slicey slices.
Slices, yeah.
Slices. What they thought of the movie. Guess how many we got.
Okay, now
One.
hold on. Oh, okay. Look, you've rushed it. I was going to try to do some sort of mathematical breakdown
Jordan,
with you.
my middle name is fucking Rush. Okay?
It's hyphenated, fucking Rush.
Yeah. Brody fucking Rush Richards.
I'm
go.
going to go with 2.
Well,
Bloody slowpoke Jordan.
we got 2 separate people on Instagram, but 1 on Twitter. So really, we got 3.
I don't know. I'm gonna say that both me and Brody are right.
I'm going
Brody
to say
gets-
that both me and Jordan are wrong.
It's agree to disagree.
I disagree to agree to disagree.
So this is from Nathan Clink 94.
Don't
He
know who
says,
that is.
this is a story of a girl who cried a river and drowned the whole world. While she looked so sad in photographs, she slept with a lot of people.
Right. That's not
he
word
goes
for word
on-
what he said.
he
but
goes on to- yeah.
we've censored him.
Yeah, that's the full radio version.
For radio version, that's right. And he then goes on to say, and now her daughter is following in her footsteps.
I would like to disagree with him.
Okay.
Not in what the story was about. Just in his
Choice of haircuts.
yes.
So we've also got one from Mike is Nerdy on Instagram.
He sure is.
He says, I asked my wife if she could see that with her mum instead of taking me, but her mum already saw it. So I'm sure I'll be checking it out also. So there you go. That's what they
We
thought
feel for
on
you, Mike.
Instagram.
And what did the lovely person on Twitter say to us, Angie Moose?
Quite a lot. Okay, so this is from Brooke Sherman.
Brooke Sherman.
She says, okay, here's some jottings for you. Take what you will. I have so many more thoughts and opinions, but it's so hard to type everything. Obviously, I take reviewing musicals real seriously. All right, so she's got...
One of us should.
Wasn't as good as the first one, but sequels rarely are. I did enjoy it. I both laughed and cried. Well, I didn't fully cry, but I had a couple of tears fall. While I was disappointed that they had... Spoiler. Blah, blah, blah. Spoiler. I also really liked how they... Spoiler.
He got on like this. This is gold, Jordan.
Okay.
Your Angus show, fucking.
Mate, you've dropped the comedy gold ball.
Sorry, I appear to have had an aneurysm.
I like that they still use some of the favourite ABBA songs from the first movie, but also added some of the lesser known but still amazing tracks. I enjoyed watching the flashbacks to see how... Spoiler... Ultimately, I left the movie theatre in a good mood and I would watch it again. And the most important thing is, I took my grandma and we have a special family connection with ABBA.
That's
and she
lovely.
loved the movie. So I was overall happy with the experience.
Good on you, Brooke. That's
How
lovely.
cute is that?
Is ABBA her
She
parents?
Yes.
She then goes on to say, I've just noticed that they're all the positive notes. I did have some nitpicks. I definitely didn't think it was 10 out of 10. Perfect. But like I said, it's hard to write everything down. It's so much easier to say it all out loud.
That's why you do a podcast.
I feel annoying with how invested I am. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry, Brooke. You've given us a good, full, slicey slicer segment. So
Good
thank
job,
you.
Sherman.
Brooke, I would...
Also, it's so cute about
would-
taking your grandma. Yeah,
Cool, good
there
on
you
you,
go.
Brooke.
So that's what the Slicey Slicers thought of Mamma Mia. Here we go again.
My.
Speaking of here we go again, a nice segue into the next segment that we're doing again. So here we go again.
Yeah,
K-Nogs, would you recommend it, and who would you recommend it to?
I would absolutely recommend this film. Couples, go see it. It's
Yeah.
a fun, romantic time.
I don't know who Couples is.
He's a bloke. Don't worry about him. He's from Nam.
Couples?
No,
It's from Nam.
Yeah. Not the war, just the place.
Okay.
No, look, couples would I think you'd have a good time. You'll probably end up
Yeah.
having to drag your boyfriend to it, but he'll probably secretly enjoy it more than he lets on.
I think he bloody will.
I think this would be great for like mother-daughter time.
Yeah.
I think this would be
Mother-daughter.
huge.
Mother-daughter, here we go.
Oh, stop
Again.
going into Queen.
Yeah.
I think
It's because we saw the trailer for Queen. The biopic for
is that
Freddie
why
Mercury.
you wrote it? Or you just
No,
going into, yeah.
I just every time I think of Mamma Mia, I think of Queen.
Yeah, that's a logical line. Look, I think this would be great for like mother-daughter time. Any sort of family sort of thing would be great. I think less so for son-dad. I think that'd be. I think son and dad time.
you
that'd
never
be-
know.
Could
You
be
never
awkward.
know.
Could be just an awkward sitting.
Whatever boats your float.
I'm not a fan of musicals, but I had a good time with
That's
the
good.
company in which I saw it with.
Nice
so yeah,
one.
I'd recommend this to most people, I guess.
Super. Roadman, would you recommend it? Who'd you recommend it to?
I'd recommend it to anyone who liked the first one.
Cool.
Anyone who has a general interest in musicals or really likes ABBA.
Yes, agreed. I would recommend it to people probably, who know ABBA a bit more. I think as Brooke mentioned in her Slicey Slices review, there are some lesser known songs. Anything else you want to say before we head on into spoilers?
No, nothing important.
Yeah, I think this movie gets a tick of approval.
If
I
you
think
liked the trailer,
definitely-
you'll like the movie.
Yeah, definitely would recommend seeing it if that's what you're into.
If you're not just 20-something-year-old men. We're not really the demographic.
No. Well, I enjoyed it. I still love it.
You're the demographic.
I am the demographic.
Just
I
on
would
on
recommend
the board,
me
it
go
says-
see this.
On the whiteboard in their room where they write all their things, it just says Angus.
Yeah.
It's like probably not for Brody.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna head on into spoilers.
Spoilers.
Stop doing every song but ABBA.
Spoilers. Oh, what a cool sound effect, Angus.
Mamma Mia, here we are at spoilers. Thank you. Cane Dogs.
Angus.
Cinema Dicks.
I had...
Any Cinema Dicks
None.
in your cinema?
I'm deciding that if you go and see a full cinema, less likely to have a
I
cinema
usually go to
dick.
see a movie in a cinema. I don't usually go to see a full
Jordan just stands at the screen and watches the
Look,
audience.
if I think
Show me what you've got.
if the cinema is full, you're less likely to have dicks in it.
Okay. How's your cinema dick situation, Birdman?
Yeah, nothing much there. There was maybe a few people just chatting
Yeah.
a couple of times,
Yeah.
but I wasn't like super invested in the film, so it wasn't a big deal.
Jordan.
But hold on.
You're
Did you have any
most
cinema
positive.
dicks? Did you have any cinema dicks?
No, I didn't have any cinema dicks.
Okay, great.
As he said,
I did watch it a little hungover,
hungover.
which is
Okay.
maybe why I didn't like the start. And
Fair
just
enough.
kind of enjoyed it towards the end.
Yep.
Because I was hydrating with my 1 litre bottle of water, which cost me $7 at the candy bar.
Ooh, so your cinema dick was the cinema itself.
Yes, actually, yeah, that's a good cinema dick. The cinema.
$7 for a liter of water.
So it was
Yeah,
actually
crazy.
it wasn't a cinema dick. It was a
shocking.
dick
It was
cinema.
it was a dick cinema.
It was a dick cinema.
It wasn't even chilled.
That's more expensive than petrol.
Brody,
just like high school.
What is your toppest, most favorite bit? Your most,
Most
positive
favorite
bit?
bit. I liked all the stuff in the 70s.
Yeah, all
all
of it.
the flashbacks.
Yeah, I thought that this film was kind of two films kind of mushed together, trying
Yeah.
to make it mesh.
Yeah,
Almost
right.
two
I think-
stories.
Put
together.
Yeah, but it actually felt like two separate films. The
Okay.
stuff in the 70s and the stuff in one time, because none of it felt connected.
I when watching this film quite enjoyed both story arcs that were going at the same time. So when they swapped between one or the other, I felt like okay with it each time.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I want to know more about this and I couldn't care less about what's happening in this arc. I was perfectly happy to hear about both arcs. But
Both us. Jordan is quite happy to hear about both us.
I was perfectly
fair
happy to hear about both arcs. Both arcs.
Both us. Yeah. Keep going.
God. I was perfectly happy to hear about both arcs. Both arcs. Oh no!
Both us. Let's go.
Simultaneously.
Don't worry, I'll edit it out.
I feel like
Yeah,
I'm
I thought I preferred the 70s stuff just because I thought it was just like something different, and I would have appreciated an entire film based around those characters. Because I've got to say, all of the younger versions of the people, I loved all of them.
Yeah, right.
It's like the younger version of the three dads. I really liked all of them on screen. They were all kind of happy, fun people. None of them were kind of like major dicks for no reason.
Yeah.
And none of them were like heavily stereotyped. Like it wasn't like there was a bit of like the bumbling one and kind of like the sort of the overly good looking one. Like
all of them were very good looking.
Yeah, but like I felt
They all
like
had very, very similar facial
They
structure
did.
as well.
It
Did
was-
you notice that?
yeah.
That was weird.
It looked like they just had one guy and just swapped the wig.
Yeah.
swap it a week. That would have made this movie a very different film.
Cane Dogs, your most favorite
Most
thing.
favorite bit. Favoritist.
I'm gonna say I have two small ones, and the movie generally was really fun.
Yeah.
But there are only two moments where I laughed out loud,
Uh-huh.
and I'm just gonna pick those as my positives. The first one is where Colin Firth and the guy that played Bill, his
Alexander Skarsgård?
yes, Stellan
Stellan Skarsgård.
Skarsgård, where him and Colin Firth do the Titanic thing.
Yeah.
On the boat.
Yeah,
I
that was very-
laughed
that
out
was
loud
very
quite
funny.
a bit when that happened.
Very good.
And my other positive is I like that this is about characters that have multiple partners and sort of go through romances very quickly without it being shamed in this movie or looked at in a bad light.
Mm.
And I think that's something that we kind of need more of. Coming
kinda
from someone that
is what it
accidentally
is.
can kind of relate. I'm glad that it wasn't frowned upon in the film. I'm just
Accidentally can kind of. Whoops! I'm in another one.
Whoops, I've done
I
another-
fell into another relationship
I've
again.
done it again.
Ugh.
No, I think it's just
I've knocked up another girl.
to my knowledge, I don't have any kids. Okay, who are we up to?
Me.
Angus's favorite things.
These are a few of my favorite ABBA stuff. Okay, so my most positive
Positives.
thing. Two things. The little one is the transitions were really cool.
All of them
yeah,
were match cuts.
All,
that was
yeah,
cool.
all the transitions were actually really really cool. It would, like the camera would maybe swing up to the birds, come back down, and it's a different time, a different era.
Yeah.
Which was really cool. I just really like that. But my main one, I'm going to throw back to some of our first podcasts
He's
where we had the
throwing
segment, which part of the movie did I cry in?
I remember this
Okay.
segment. Sure. Yep.
Which part? Which
We've
part
got
did
to
I
guess
tear
it,
up?
don't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which part did
I'm
I
going to
tear
say
up?
the part at the end where her and Meryl Streep are sort of singing to each other in the church.
A lot of people did tear up in that part.
Well, you're right. Yeah. It was that part.
I'm going to guess that one as well.
Yeah. Because like
I'm
they set
pretty
it-
sure my girlfriend teared up.
like they set it up as if Meryl Streep wasn't in the movie. Like, and I didn't know if she was
She's in
credited
the trailer,
or not.
isn't she? Oh, I
It's
think I knew she was credited.
Yeah, it's in the trailer, but the scene in the trailer is from
From the first movie.
first
I think
movie.
I think I was told that girl. I think I knew she was credited in it.
Yeah, okay. Because I didn't realize that. I was like, if they're gonna use footage, they might just use footage of her from the last movie. Maybe Meryl Streep didn't want to be in it anymore. Or
Makes you wonder whether
So
this is a
when-
case
She's
of...
photoshopped into one of the photos.
yeah,
So it seems
yeah.
like
Yeah.
she definitely doesn't have a part in it.
Yeah, exactly. And then when she pops up in the church and starts singing, I was just like, oh, feels.
See, that's
Feels.
probably more sentimental to people that saw
I
it enjoyed
watched the first one as well.
of
Yeah,
course,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I just felt like that scene was really, really powerful, and yeah, it made me feel stuff. Made this old grizzly bear into a baby cub again.
I've never not seen you as a baby cub. Just because you're smaller than me.
Oh.
And younger than me. You'll
But
always,
I'm grizzly.
you'll always be a grizzly
Turn
baby
this grizzly cub into
Upside down.
In, inside out.
Turn this grizzly cub upside down. Yeah, that was my most positive. Okay,
that's fair.
let's head on into the negatives of the film.
Negative.
Kane Dogs, you want to hit us up with your negatives?
Kane Dogs in his negatives.
Yes, okay, so before I start, I will like to say that I haven't seen a lot of musicals and I never really learnt how to comfortably deconstruct one because you've got to make exceptions for a musical that you wouldn't make for a normal film. For instance, things feel awkward in musicals by nature for me because I'm not used to characters breaking out into song and singing exposition.
It feels normal for me because I do break out in song very, very
Just to give me
constantly.
exposition. Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. So I think one of the nitpicks I'm gonna have is just I'm not used to, in the musicals I've seen, characters singing background vocals as well as the forwards vocals. So there are parts in a lot of ABBA songs and a lot of times in this where there's one like knowing me, knowing you. And so there's parts where the characters are singing that song, but they're also singing the and it just feels awkward to listen to them just sing the non-vocal, like the non-worded vocals. So some of it feels awkward for that. And the other I don't have any big nitpicks for this. I thought I tend to try and be very kind to musicals because I don't know enough about them to feel like I have a right to nitpick them too much.
Fair.
But what I will say is there's the scene at the end that you teed up at with Meryl Streep, and I thought that whole part was beautiful until she backs out of the church. And when she backs backwards and closes the doors, it lingers on that scene of her closing the doors. It's a couple of seconds too long and it felt awkward for me.
Right.
I don't know, if you go back and watch it, you might notice it. She backs back through the doors and she closes them and then moves her hands around so she can grab the handles to not get her fingers caught, closes it a bit more, and the scene took like a minute and it was just awkward. It just drew out a bit too long.
Broman.
I have two. I have a regular one and a little one.
Go for it.
So
Give us the little one first.
The little one first?
I want the little one.
There's a scene where young Donna in like the 70s is really sad and she's like running and she runs into the stables and she like hugs the horse. But in doing so, she pokes the horse in the eye.
I cringe so much.
I laughed.
Why did they keep
out
that in?
loud. And it was like such an emotional boat, and I went, and it was just like, and I was the only one that laughed, and I was like, I was the only one that noticed that.
Yeah, no, I noticed that as well.
so
Like when I
funny.
saw that, I was like, oh no, why did they keep that in? Why didn't they do it again?
I was like, if that was the take that they used,
Yeah,
that's
how many times did she poke the horse in the eye?
I know, that was so funny.
It's probably she's done like 10 takes, and every take just pokes the horse in the eye. The horse is like, oh my god.
I love that maybe she doesn't notice she's poking the horse in the eye, and after the first time the director's like, that was good, that's good, it's fine. Let's do another take. And she just keeps accidentally poking, and the director's
You
like...
can tell that she doesn't notice because it's on the other side, like her head's on one side.
Yeah.
But it still is just funny.
I don't know why they didn't do another take.
My main part is the very, very first musical scene. You'll remember it is at the university.
Yep, the
during
graduation speech.
Very different to our graduation.
It is, well, it's a university graduation.
Also, I mean, Angus still wore the jumpsuit.
It was done wrong for me. Very first musical scene, having a very large amount of people not participate in the song made it feel so awkward to me.
Right, yeah.
And then the I Kissed the Teacher song was an odd choice.
Yeah, it was odd. And I was just watching this and it seemed like, because it wasn't a musical moment, because she gets out a microphone and she sings.
Yeah.
So it's actually her standing on that stage singing.
Yeah.
Which is really awkward. But then the kids join in, but all of the parents and all the teachers don't. And so they run past them, all the parents, all the teachers are just looking at them like they're crazy. So they actually are crazy. Because there's people there. Because like if it was a normal...
It's like they flash danced there.
If it was a normal thing where she just
great.
started singing and her friends joined in, and it wasn't that they were actually singing, it would have been just normal because it's a musical, people break out into song, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And then if the teachers then joined in and such, and so much more, and stuff like that, it would have made sense as a scene in a musical.
Yeah.
But because they didn't, and because they were actually singing at their graduation, it was so weird. And I just watched this and I was like, oh my god, this is terrible.
This is not working.
Because it was the very first musical scene in the entire film.
Yeah.
And it had no connection to what her daughter was talking about in the modern time. So it was just this weird, harsh cut to the 70s about this random stuff. And I was like, what the hell is this film?
Yeah.
Every other scene after that had music in it was completely normal.
Was fine,
It was just people breaking out into song and then random people joining in. Like the scene in the restaurant where she meets Colin Firth's younger self. So it was like normal musical stuff.
Yeah.
There was the scene where Amanda Seyfried and the guy, can't remember his name, they're breaking the song while he's in New York and she's in there and she's like lying in her bed and everything. That was completely normal. I've got to say that every other scene with the musical scene was just completely normal musical stuff. That first scene in the musical scene was just so weird.
I also will
In
say,
that first scene, did you like the shot where the bicycles like rolled over the lens?
Yeah,
you
where
see
they like
that?
filmed from underneath.
Yeah.
Like they must have had like
I think,
glass or something. Yeah,
I think that was the first shot where I'm like, huh,
Yeah.
this is
They
this
put
was
effort into
actually
this, yeah.
this was actually an interesting film in that aspect. Where
In the way
they
that it's
put
filmed,
effort
yeah.
into the way that it was shot,
yeah,
which was surprising.
yeah.
is Pierce Brosnan a good singer or a terrible one?
Well,
Because there were some
this
really
comes up a
cringeworthy
lot.
parts.
Yeah. This comes up a lot, especially in the first one.
Yeah.
He actually doesn't sing a lot in this one.
Yeah.
And I feel like
I
because
liked
of the
his
backlash
song-
that he got from the first
Oh,
one.
okay. I like
he
his
has
song
got a-
in his like cabin when he's looking at the photos.
Yeah.
because
That
kind
was-
of
yeah,
somber,
'cause it's a somber-
It's quite quick.
Yeah.
It's when he's trying to, because when you're singing slowly like that, you don't have to match a pitch. You just sing in your own voice to a tune
Yeah.
as slowly as you need to, and you don't really need to draw out any notes. But when he's in a song with other people and he gets parts to sing,
How good are his eyebrows? His
Yeah, it is,
eyebrows
yeah,
are so intense when he's singing. He's like, really good for a podcast, but
oh yeah, good. Angus has just removed one of his eyebrows and stuck it to his nose. It was physical comedy. I don't know. A lot of his stuff was. I think
Yeah.
the male singers in this were far worse than the female singers in this.
Yeah,
on,
so
on a whole, I would say.
So my sister, you talk to my sister, and she absolutely hates Pierce Brosnan singing.
Yeah.
Every time he sings, she like, she puts her pillows up to her ears, like she absolutely hates it.
His character.
I don't mind it. Like
Here's the-
it's a different style of
Well,
singing.
the style I think, which is the only reason it sort of passes in this film, is because it's awkward dad singing.
Yeah,
My
Yeah,
dad
yeah.
sings like it's awkward dad singing.
Well, no, because your dad was an opera singer, wasn't he?
Yeah. Well, my dad travelled. My dad was in the Australian choir and toured the world. But
Yeah.
Wow.
my dad now.
Did not know that. That's awesome.
Really?
No.
Ah, my dad now.
You
awkward dad
didn't
singing.
tell me.
Yeah.
I went on a long walk on the beach with your dad, and that's when he told me. He gave me his whole
And
life
that's when he
story.
said, "Angus, you're my favourite son."
yeah, that's the one.
I haven't had any
You-
long
you were
walks
there?
on the beach with my dad.
I reckon.
Yeah, I was there and just looked at you. You're my favourite.
Jordan was just
You're my
standing
favourite son.
on a balcony, just watching out over a beach as Angus and his dad walk into the sunset, and he hears in the distance,
Just distinctly, you're my favourite son, Angus.
"You're my favorite son."
And
So we've done your negatives.
Yeah.
We've done
your mine.
negatives.
We haven't done yours.
We haven't done my negatives.
Angus,
Angus is negative.
today we're going to skip your negatives. So Brody, what else did you think about the film?
I thought Angus's negatives were more important.
Yeah, that's fair.
Thanks, bro. You're the
Angus,
best.
what are your negatives?
You're
Shut up,
welcome, brother.
Jordan. So my most negative thing about the film was the ADR and the dubbing of voice.
During the singing, you mean?
During the singing, but they also do it during the dialogue as well, which, like, I mean, I kind of understand when they're on the island, like, obviously it's going to be insanely windy there. The songs were very overdubbed as well. Like, when they were, like, even in the first musical number, bro, that you were talking about, they do so much movement. Like, they're bouncing up and down, blah, 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 but their voice stays exactly the same, and it was just really fake. And I know this because I watched the special features of the first movie, but Meryl Streep.
I like to think that you finished that movie and went, I think there's more to this. And
I-
then watched another 2 hours of it.
I absolutely love special features of any film.
I love
just
special
love
features
watching
of
them.
movies I'm really into.
Yeah, I just love watching the behind the scenes, all that kind of stuff. But I digress. So in the first one, Meryl Streep, all of her singing was actually recorded when she was there acting. Like she didn't want to do any booth work, any of that. She's like, no, this is like, I'm going to sing this and you're going to record it. That's how it's going to end up in the movie. And because of that, it brings like a sense of realism to the first movie. And the singing in this one was just way too overdubbed. It was very, very Glee, because in Glee, everything's just like boothed. What do you think of Cher being in it?
Okay, so
I was like,
Kind of random for me.
yeah,
I feel like she was very shoehorned in.
yeah, me
But
too.
what I will say, and I will admit this, I know Cher is a famous artist. That's all I know. So I walked out, and I don't know much about ABBA. And I was like, so was Cher, like, is she one of the last living members of ABBA? And then I got yelled at for about 30 minutes.
Well, it was
They're like,
Sonny
no,
and Cher.
Cher is
Yeah.
Cher. I'm like, yeah, well, Justin Timberlake originally was in NSYNC. Like, I don't know that. Like, I don't know who Cher is. I don't know if I've listened to her songs.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Although,
Couldn't tell you.
Speaking of which, there were actually the two male members of ABBA. They made cameos in this film.
Were there?
Yeah.
See, I couldn't. If you asked me, I
think it's-
couldn't tell you if they were dead,
Yeah.
alive. If
I
ABBA
didn't
was.
even know that these songs were ABBA.
If ABBA was-
I assumed that some were. I have no idea.
And again-
I've never listened to ABBA.
I have a few ABBA songs that I hold dearly to my heart just because they remind me of Mum. But outside of that, I couldn't tell you if there are members of ABBA that are alive. I can't tell you anything. I don't know if they did a comeback tour last year.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. Nah. The pianist was in there playing piano.
Okay, that makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
Watching that
'Cause it-
scene in the restaurant, it cuts to the pianist. I'm like, okay,
Why?
Like six
Yeah.
times, yeah.
And then it cuts back to him. I'm like, wait, are we not going to find out anything about the pianist?
I thought the
What the
weird.
hell's going on here?
Yeah,
it
that's-
screwed with my mind
Yeah.
so much. I was like, why the hell did you cut to the pianist?
Because he kind of looks straight at the camera as well, just like
Yeah,
a
and
"Hey,
then-
how you going?" kind of
then-
thing. He was like,
He
"What?"
actually he says that
And then
during
it-
the.
Yeah.
It cuts back to him while they're singing and dancing and everything, and I'm like,
Who is it?
yeah, and I'm like, who is that? What,
Yeah,
am I
I'm pretty
supposed to know
sure
who that
that's. I think his name's Björn.
is? Okay.
Bjorn.
Okay, that makes
Bjorn,
so
Bjorn.
much more sense.
All right, I think that's it. That's kind
That
of
is
our
it.
thoughts on Mamma Mia. Here we go again. Cane Dogs, did you have an idea to finish this podcast?
I did. So I thought it would be fun for me to read out to you guys a multiple choice ABBA quiz.
Okay.
And to see you guys do your best, and I'll let you know whether you get these right or wrong.
All right, let's do
We'll
it.
just roll through some. So, beginning with, what year did ABBA win Eurovision?
That is a good question.
So I'm not going to give you guys
Well, it's
any.
multiple choice, right?
It is, yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so you have 1975, 1974, 1972, or 1973.
wanna
It's
go
really
s-
annoying that they didn't write those in order.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 74.
Okay, Brody.
Well,
No,
does,
72. 74.
does
No, 74.
Eurovision happen every year, or is it like a bi-yearly thing?
it's an every year.
It's every year.
Yep.
72.
Okay. Angus, what did you go with?
I want to do 72 now, but I'll go 74. I'll do 74.
All right. It is 74.
Hey!
Oh,
Angus
I got it.
All right.
Let's go.
Bloody Angus ABBA genius.
I've got A.
Oh, Angus has A.
I've got A.
No, shouldn't I? Wait,
Okay.
Wait, I don't know.
Which
Okay.
of
Oh,
the
mate, I don't know.
which of the ABBA boys was Agnetha married to? You have Bjorn or Benny. So you're both gonna have to.
I'll take Bjorn.
Oh, I want to be on. Damn it. Okay, Benny.
All right. The answer is Bjorn.
Hey!
All right,
Angus,
we're both
you
on A.
suck. All right.
I knew that as well.
Who is the oldest member of ABBA? You have Bjorn, Benny, Agnetha, or Annie Frid.
Benny.
Agnetha.
I'm gonna tap Benny.
It's Bjorn.
It's Bjorn. It is
Damn
Bjorn.
Do I get half a point for
No,
running
you
in
don't.
late?
Not at all.
Man.
Do I get half a point for having the right first letter?
No.
Do I get
Damn.
half a point for getting the
No
right
points.
sex?
All right. It's loading badly. All right.
I got the wrong sex.
What was ABBA's first single? We have SOS. We
No.
have Waterloo.
No.
We have People Need Love. And we have Ring Ring.
I'll go with Ring Ring.
Damn it.
Is SOS... What's SOS? Is that like...
Darling, can you hear me? Da-da-da-da-boo-doo, SOS.
Okay.
When you're gone.
It's not
Though I
message
try.
in a bottle. That's a
I
different
was going to go with like, I'm
Sending out
sending
you know,
out
Yeah.
an
so
SOS.
okay. Well, it's
I don't
none
know
of
who that's
those
by.
two. It's the one that I sang perfectly,
Yep. I'm going to go with the one that I didn't recognize because that's probably their
which
earliest.
is so you have SOS, Waterloo,
No,
People Need Love, and
That's
Ring
the one.
Ring.
People need love.
Ready?
I answered Ring Ring.
Okay. The answer is, of course, People Need Love.
Yeah.
He bloody takes it.
I'm on a B.
How many UK number one singles have ABBA had? You have 9, 7, 3, or 5.
5,
9.
All right.
7. I'm changing my answer to 7.
Answer's 9.
Yeah. I got my other B.
I was close.
1 A left.
All right. Which film comedy saw two characters wear satin costumes to perform Waterloo in a talent show. You have Best Friend's Wedding, 4 Weddings and a Funeral, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, or Muriel's Wedding.
Muriel.
What?
I don't know.
I didn't understand the question.
Which comedy, which movie saw two characters from that movie wear satin costumes like the ones worn by ABBA to perform Waterloo, a song done by ABBA in a talent show. So two characters from a movie performed an ABBA song. It was the movie Best Friend's Wedding, 4 Weddings and a Funeral, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, or Muriel's Wedding.
What was the second one?
4 Weddings and a Funeral.
I'm going Muriel.
I haven't seen that, so I'll go with that.
All right.
I don't think it's in there.
I think it's A.
Muriel's Wedding.
Yeah.
I just got it.
I got ABBA.
You did it?
I did it.
All right.
I am the dancing queen, young and sweet, only 17. I can guess the right answers when Jordan gives us a quiz. Ooh. Oh,
I'll just back up singing.
I'm the best. Bro's the worst. Jordan is a lose control. You that I don't know when. You can
Am I supposed to be doing an outro?
On Instagram.
You gotta rhyme another now.
And we're on Twitter. Yeah, that's right. And Jordan's a bit better because my outro's better than his.
Look, man, I nailed my song.
We even did an ABBA quiz.
Just one look and I forgot everything. I don't remember pretty much anything. Oh no, pretty sure that I think I've had a stroke.
Film Size Podcast. Here we go again. We're trying to do an outro, but as usual, we're going way too far, and no one's gonna listen to this. Yes, it might be a bit too long, but I'm gonna keep singing this song. Film Size Podcast. Outro.